Lugas have the IQ of a human genius.
J6 prisoners did nothing wrong.
Did you just say something?
The FBI should be dismantled. Prosecute the prosecutors. All right, I gotta go. Bye.
Okay, so something else that sprouted up in the news cycle, we have so much breaking news today, is that the FBI has straight up admitted that they now had hundreds, close to 300 undercover FBI agents in the crowds on January 6th. Unbelievable. Top line here, and then we'll be joined by John Strand, who probably was totally entrapped by these FBI agents. FBI secretly deployed more than 250 plainclothes agents at the U.S. Capitol during January 6, 2021 riot, an operation so disorganized that it unleashed searing frustrations among many of the FBI's rank and file. The Bureau had lost its core competencies to wokeness and allowed for its employees to become pawns of the political war, according to an after-action report kept from the public for more than 4 years. Scores of FBI agents and personnel, many from the Bureau's premier Washington field office, sent anonymous complaints to the after-action team, detailing how agents were sent into unsafe scenarios without proper equipment, safety, or training, or the ability to identify themselves readily to armed officers and police agencies. The report obtained by Just the News shows. The most persistent complaint was that the Bureau, during the James Comey and Chris Wray era, had become so infected with political biases and liberal ideology that it treated the protesters from the summer of 2020 Black Lives Matter riots far differently than those arrested in the aftermath of the January 6th episode. The FBI should make clear to its personnel and the public that despite obvious political bias, ultimately still takes the mission and priorities seriously, one employee wrote in a review. It should equally and aggressively investigate criminal activity, regardless of the offender's perceived race, political affiliations, and motivations. That would equally aggressively protect Americans regardless of perceived race or political affiliations. That agent urged the FBI to identify viable exit options for FBI personnel who no longer feel legally or morally acceptable to support federal law enforcement because of their political bias. Yes. Goodness gracious. What a massive bombshell. Any other show, James Comey wasn't indicted, this would be, we'd lead with this for a week, and I think we're going to be investigating this for weeks now. Confirmed. Fedsurrection. Talking here about, like, morally acceptable to support federal law enforcement. Well, how many FBI agents were actually fighting federal law enforcement? How many FBI agents were breaking into the U.S. Capitol? Hey, Alex, you got to go to John Strand's account on X, and you got to get some of the videos that he's been posting about these clearly fed undercover agents that were smashing in the windows, that were busting in the doors, that were inciting and carrying people into the Capitol. John Strand, ladies and gentlemen, joins the program right now. He is an activist. He's a patriot. He's someone who loves his country dearly. He's someone who was singing beautifully at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. We were able to reconnect with him, and it's a great honor to have him on the program today. He is an aggrieved and entrapped American patriot who was most likely entrapped by the FBI on January 6th. Welcome to the show, John. All right. Hey, thank you, John. Welcome to the program. It's awesome to finally have you on, man.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be with you again.
Okay, so let's talk about this news this morning. How does this make you feel? Can you give people a little bit of your background with January 6th?
Yeah.
And then fast forward to the news today.
I could say I told you so, but instead I'll just say what I've been saying for 4 years, Benny. January 6th was our American Reichstag fire, and that has been confirmed today. So my quick story, I'm originally an actor from Hollywood, was working in Los Angeles during COVID. The life turned upside down, of course, and I fought back against tyranny at that time. And I got to start working with a nonprofit called America's Frontline Doctors, which helped reveal the truth about the COVID lies. We were scheduled, along with multiple Congress people, at an event that had a government-approved permit to give speeches on January 6th, which is why I was there that day. And then, of course, thanks to approximately 275 and counting undercover operatives, we were entrapped, swept into the building, and the rest of our lives have been turned upside down, dismantled, firebombed, and destroyed for all practical intents and purposes. Personally, I was sent to prison DOJ tried to put me in prison for almost a decade. I'm not kidding you. And my particular story was unique because I refused to take a plea deal. Most J6ers weren't able to overcome that hurdle because of all the corruption at the DOJ and the reality of facing multiple 20-year felonies and et cetera. So the government pile drived over 1,000 American citizens into cooperating with one of the most deep, dark, complex, dirty lies in American history, and strung them up as forced confessions to back up this lie. So the FBI undercover operation that has been exposed today is just the tip of a very dirty, weaponized government spear. And there is much more blood dripping down from that operation and machination. So the legal aspect of what happened, as well as the operational aspect of what happened, is going to blow people's minds. This is just the beginning. And this is our J6 turning point. This is it.
Yes. So it really does confound the senses as to how they could keep this secret for so long. It seems like they have just trampled on your rights. And some of the videos, pop up this one. I want to see the guy. Yeah, the dude in the black mask with the earpiece.
It's unbelievable.
Ripping the window open so that they could. So the guy in clear Fed tactical gear that is opening up the Capitol windows.
And then reaching over and grabbing an innocent bystander to frame it on him. You see it in real time.
It's incredible. And then he blames that guy for opening the window.
Exactly. And that's
Amazing.
so representative of the entire J6 lie. The innocent, patriotic Americans standing there were framed as the criminals. We were the victims.
So what happens? I mean, at this point, you're looking at something that needs some real restitution. There needs to be truth and reconciliation commissions. I'm telling you, I've seen it already. Democrats have stopped defending or bringing up January 6th at all. They've dropped it entirely.
That's
so we
amazing.
monitor these things really closely. And there has been zero conversation about January 6th. They've been told, and they've been trained like dogs, right, to froth at the mouth whenever they ring the January 6th bell. I've never seen anything like it. A total and complete hot potato. In the media landscape, you're looking at someone who has directed them to stop talking about it. That it's time to end signaling to the American public that January 6th was an insurrection. The op is over. What do you think happens next? I'm
going to go back to scripture. It says, those who live by the sword will die by the sword. So they weaponized a Reichstag fire entrapment event to stab and slaughter MAGA Americans and patriotic Americans of any political affiliation, really, if they didn't align with the regime. And they have been attacking us and destroying our lives with this lie. And that is going to become the weapon that is turned on them because the truth is coming out. Lies are faster, Benny, but the truth is stronger.
Well,
so,
yes.
No, go
Please
ahead.
Continue. My apologies. Please continue.
No, it's just to say that this is our J6 turning point. I believe that. We have been waiting for that. We have been suffering for that. They tried to put me in prison for almost a decade, sent me there for about 3 years. I was vindicated by the United States Supreme Court and then completely exonerated of all charges because I refused to take the plea, which is a total miracle. But the miracle is based on the truth. Miracles come from God. They are supernatural, but God is truth. He will never abide lies. So when a miracle happens, it isn't a fake thing. It's a true thing. And the miracle of my exoneration in J6 and the miracle of President Trump being reelected, saved by a millimeter miracle when that bullet grazed his ear, coming back into the seat of power that the American people properly elected him to begin this turnaround, to start our great American comeback. All of this is miraculous. All of this points to the truth that God is real and that he is sovereign and that he is good and that he has hope and a future for America if we turn to him. So this is our turning point. This is our J6 turning point. And I am battled and bruised and bloodied by this, as are over 1,500 Americans that I try to speak for and advocate for. People can check out wearej6.com, where we actively share truth and advocate for restitution for these people who have had their lives destroyed. The stories are shocking. You can see many of them at the top of my X profile. But Benny, the mission is just beginning to expose the full set of lies, share the truth, and bring justice back to America for J6 and for the entire nation, because January 6th is representative of a weaponized government and an entrenched system of lies and corruption, and just an inversion of our constitutional republic. And we have to reclaim it now. President Trump is just the leader right now, but this American enterprise belongs to every one of us as citizens. We have a duty and an obligation to engage in the reclamation and revival of this country, this nation, one nation under God. And that's the moment we're in, and I'm very excited about it.
What would you personally like to see happen to feds who entrapped Americans that day? The FBI obviously is reeling. They sent all these undercover agents. They lied about it. Many of those undercover agents were clearly politically weaponized in order to try and entrap you, and most likely committed illegal acts. Did you, and by the way, two-part question, did you witness? Do you believe that you witnessed any feds committing illegal acts that day?
I actually do. The only single element of actual quote unquote vandalism that I personally witnessed during the day, the only one, which seems crazy because now we see a billion video clips of all kinds of things. But in real time, when I'm on the ground, it was a large, peaceful, boisterous, excited, good-hearted crowd. I did not see animosity, anger. I did not see violence. I saw none of that until I was caught in a crowd, stuck, and then we were attacked by police while we were stuck on the east doors. The one exception is I saw someone packed up by that front Columbus door right before it got open from the inside. I saw someone grab a tool that was passed up from the back. You couldn't move in the crowd, but someone passed over, a screwdriver or something like that, so that this guy could try to break the window. He didn't actually successfully break the window, but he was banging on it. And I thought, that doesn't seem like a MAGA protester. That seems like a plant. That seems like an agent provocateur. So that was my one example. Now I see many, many clips, but at the time I didn't witness hardly any of that. But I do believe it was happening with 2020. Hindsight is 2020. And
in conclusion here, John, what would you like to see happen to the feds who did actually break the law that day?
So this is America, where we live by the rule of law. So I, like most Americans, would simply like to see the rule of law upheld equally, fairly, judiciously, swiftly, and without apology. But I think that needs to start at the top, Benny. I think the standard is higher for those that are given power over others. And so this arrest of James Comey is just the start. We need to see a lot more. We need to see it swiftly and surely, without hesitation. And the hammer of American justice needs to come down heavy, because we have been waiting long, hard, and painfully suffering to see this day come.
Well, don't say swiftly too loudly, John, because James Comey is a Swiftie, and he might get excited. And he's going to have a ton of time, maybe 10 years, actually, in his own little private prison cell to listen to all of Taylor's new songs. And so we're very excited for that for James. He brags about being a Swiftie. He's so proud of it.
They didn't give me any Taylor Swift when I was in prison, Benny. Just a lot of really dangerous criminals screaming incessantly to the point that I hyperventilated in isolation. It was horrific. So
it's gallows humor. We don't mean to make light of it. We simply mean to take the bad energy and turn it into good energy. It's something that you certainly have done, and I encourage everybody to go over here and follow John Strand. Here's his X account. He has close to 150,000 subscribers. Let's make sure that we're pouring energy into those who are fighting for us and are doing it in such a defiant and powerful way. John Strand, thank you so much for being on the program.
Benny, thank you. God bless you, and keep up the fight for the American Republic. We are going to win. God bless you.
There we go.